If you've ever tried to cram a huge, sprawling AI research project into a neat 2-week sprint, well, you know it can feel like you're forcing a square peg into a round hole. So today, we're going to go beyond the default Agile playbook to find frameworks that are actually built for the unique chaos and creativity of AI development. It's true, right? For so many companies, Agile and Scrum are pretty much the same thing. 2-week sprints, daily stand-ups, story points, the whole deal. It's the framework we all know. And for a lot of software projects, it works beautifully.
Because let's be honest, the very nature of AI work, all the deep experimentation, the massive data pipelines, the specialized skills, it often stretches that classic Scrum structure right to its breaking point.
I mean, think about it. How do you assign story points to a research spike that might be a complete dead end after a week? Or how does a single Scrum team manage a data pipeline that the entire company relies on? See, traditional Scrum has a tough time with this because it's built for predictable, step-by-step software delivery, not for the messy, experimental world of AI. You've got unpredictable research, experts spread all over the place, and huge infrastructure needs that just don't fit into those tidy 2-week boxes.
So if fixed sprints are the problem, what's the solution? Well, let's start with a framework that just throws out that rigid schedule and focuses on one simple, powerful idea: continuous flow. Let's talk about Kanban.
At its core, Kanban is all about making your work visible and just keeping it moving. Instead of trying to force work into these fixed-length sprints, it lets tasks, like a really complex model experiment, take as long as they need. And that is absolutely perfect for the unpredictable nature of AI research.
So this is basically the engine behind Kanban. First, you visualize everything. Every data cleaning task, every model experiment. Right away, you start seeing where the bottlenecks are. But the real game changer for AI teams is the second principle: limit work in progress. Instead of juggling 10 half-finished experiments, the team is forced to focus and actually finish one thing before starting the next. This maximizes learning and stops you from wasting time on dead ends. The other principles, managing flow, having clear policies, and building in feedback loops, they all work together to create a system that adapts to the research instead of forcing the research to adapt to the system.
And hey, the results really speak for themselves. Microsoft's research AI team saw a massive 40% increase in successful model deployments when they switched over to Kanban. By just letting their research breathe and follow its natural course, instead of chopping it up into sprints, they got way better outcomes. That's the power of focusing on flow.
Okay, but what if your challenge isn't just one team? What if you're trying to coordinate AI across the entire company? Well, that's where our next framework comes in, the Scaled Agile Framework, or SAFe.
SAFe is all about the big picture. It gives you a structure for aligning these huge, cross-functional AI initiatives with the company's strategic goals. You can almost think of it as the operating system for a company-wide AI transformation.
Now, at the heart of SAFe is this idea of the Agile release train. It's a long-term, stable team of teams that has everyone you need to deliver value: data scientists, platform engineers, product managers, you name it. Instead of working in their own separate silos, they all plan their work together in these big quarterly planning events. This makes sure that the foundational AI platform your data team is building is perfectly in sync with the new features your product teams need. It's all about creating alignment from the very top of the company all the way down to the code.
And the payoff for this can be absolutely massive. Look at Capital One. By structuring its machine learning teams into a dedicated Agile release train that served multiple product teams, they were able to reduce fraud by over $100 million. That's the kind of impact you get from strategic alignment at scale.
All right, let's switch gears to our third concept. This one is less of a rigid process and more of a guiding philosophy: lean.
Lean thinking is really about one thing: giving the customer maximum value by ruthlessly cutting out waste. And that waste could be anything: rebuilding models that don't really offer any improvement, or gathering tons of data that you never end up using. Lean forces you to focus only on what truly matters, which makes it a perfect partner for AI.
This lean cycle is such a powerful mental model for AI teams. It starts with defining value from the customer's point of view, not just model accuracy, but real business impact. Then you map out the entire value stream, from collecting data to deployment, just to spot any waste. Creating flow and establishing pull basically means you only build and deploy models when there's a real customer need. This stops you from creating a bunch of shelfware models that never actually get used. It's this constant cycle of pursuing perfection, using AI to find and eliminate waste in your own process.
And here is a fantastic, real-world example of this in action. Toyota Connected blends AI analysis of their vehicle data with their famous lean philosophy. By using machine learning to find patterns that predict quality issues, they cut their warranty claims by 18%. That's a huge win for both the company and the customer.
Okay, so we've covered Kanban for flow, SAFe for scale, and Lean for philosophy. The big question is, how in the world do you choose the right one for your team?
Think of this matrix as your cheat sheet. You just have to look at your context. If your AI work is super experimental and research-heavy, Kanban's focus on flow is probably ideal. If you're building out a huge enterprise-level AI platform, SAFe is going to give you the structure you need for that coordination. And if your main goal is just being more efficient and cutting waste, Lean is going to be your North Star.
But here's the real secret. You don't have to pick just one. A lot of times, the most effective approach is actually a hybrid. Take Scrumban, for instance. It uses the roles and the sprint structure from Scrum, but manages the work inside the sprint using Kanban's ideas of flow and limiting work in progress. You really get the best of both worlds.
And honestly, there's no better proof of this than Spotify. Their famous squad model is just a masterclass in hybrid agility. They use Scrum for their feature teams, Kanban for their research teams, and Lean principles for their infrastructure. And they coordinate it all in a way that lets them deliver world-class, AI-driven features at an incredible speed.
So what are the big takeaways here? First, there's no magic one-size-fits-all solution for AI and Agile. You've got to look beyond Scrum and find frameworks that are a better fit for experimentation and scale. You have to match the framework to your specific context, your team size, your type of work, your goals. And finally, don't be afraid to mix and match. For complex AI work, these hybrid models are often king.
Ultimately, finding the right way to work isn't a destination, it's a journey of continuous improvement. So the real question isn't which framework are we going to adopt, it's what will our team choose to evolve into next.